What's up, gang? It's D here, your friendly neighborhood tattoo VO. Full discretion. This isn't going to be your usual thing positive. If you're not comfortable with some of these subjects, I suggest you tune out. But for those of you who would like to discuss some of the things that have been going on this past week in the world, and the United States especially, uh, I think discussion is where we begin to make some progress. So I'd like to hear go. So here it is. It's Sunday evening. Uh, the weekend is just about done. Um, we're days removed from the murder of George Floyd. We are in the midst of more riots and more upheaval, more division, um, and just more pain all over. Uh, I personally am an immigrant with brown skin and a disability, so I'm no stranger to prejudice and bigotry and discrimination and all that fun stuff. And anyway, what I've tried to do for the last 20 years of my life is help people come together. And I've been very, very heavily involved in politics and paid attention to it since childhood. I have family that is military, family that was very heavily involved in the political infrastructure in this country and abroad. I have family that is police. I have family that is black. I have family of all colors, all races. So when people ask someone like me, because they know I'm open minded and I'm somebody that preaches positivity and, communication, opening a dialogue, hearing each other out, rather than yelling on top of each other. Say, D, you have a lot of interesting thoughts on this stuff, and you're usually very well versed with this stuff, and what should we do? And the truth of the matter is, I don't really know, because there isn't any simple answer. What I do know is we're never going to get anywhere keeping on doing the same things we've been doing, because the situation right now, it's not the first time we've gone through it. It won't be the last unless we start to think clearly, be a little bit more introspective, be a little bit uh, more thoughtful with how we put things out there, especially in this age of social media. Be careful with our words, but not just what we do, our actions, but more so our reactions. We need to hear each other out more, you know, and that goes all across the board, black, white, everything in between, left, right, everything in between, you know, whether you're from New York City or, Gary, Indiana. It's all a rich tapestry that makes up our nation. And we just got to do a better job of talking to each other, learning from each other, not being so easily influenced by outside factors, Um, Even right now, with what we're seeing on the news and things like that, I truly do not believe that that's really what our country's about. And I'm not talking about protests and riots and violence and all that stuff too. I'm talking about what they're trying to. Uh, the point I see now made a lot, and the point I saw 5 years ago, after Ferguson and after uh, what happened in Baltimore with Freddie Gray, where I lived in Baltimore for 19 years. I just gotten back from my honeymoon, where my wife and I had cut off all communication. The only thing we used our phones for was taking pictures on our honeymoon. We get back to town and I see Freddie Gray this, Freddie Gray that, and I had no idea what had happened. And I read about it and talk to people in the know about it, and I'm just appalled. Um, so I'm not going to make this about a blame game about Trump or the left versus the right or police versus citizens and all that stuff, because none of that really matters, because arguing about that isn't going to get us anywhere. Okay, what's going to get us somewhere is if we all start listening to each other and stop being influenced by people that don't care about us, because the majority of the people that are claiming they're going to do this and do that, they don't care about you, they don't care about me, they care about their own gains. And we as people just we got to do a better job of just falling into the traps. That's just how I feel about it, because I've seen it firsthand repeatedly, and I am just tired of it. Emotionally, physically, mentally, it's draining. And so I guess the bottom line is, think before you speak, listen to others, hear them out, open legitimate forms of dialogue and communication with others. And let's try to meet somewhere in the middle and find some compromise, because if you're fighting for control over here and you're fighting for control over there and you're fighting for control over here, we're all just going to keep on fighting. And if we all keep on fighting, the cycle continues and history just keeps on repeating himself. History keeps on repeating itself. And I'll just be saying and feeling the same bullshit a couple years from now. Peace. Keep shining. Talk soon.